Alright guys, Fuller coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. If you like this video, please feel free to like the video. And if you want to, I invite you to subscribe to the page as well. So, I hope you guys are doing well in these circumstances we find ourselves in. I mean, it's some pretty, I will admit, even for myself, and this is just, human nature, but still at the same time you still gotta be on your square and be able to weather through this bullshit we're going through. But I just hope y'all have been focused on making some plays that will help y'all, because the way it's looking right now, man, it's just crazy. You got I want to say you got federal troops going into various cities now, so it's really weird times we're living in right now. Now I just wanted to talk some boxing right now, and I want to say that boxing has been changed forever, and the reason why I say it is because of the simple fact that I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but we may never ever be able to, be in an arena to watch a fight due to the pandemic. We may never ever have that privilege of having that anymore. And it just, you can kind of see it right now because of the simple fact that you had a fight tonight, which was Virgil Ortiz and Samuel Vargas, and it was in a empty arena. Now the question, this is the real question, is are fighters going to be content with that? Because of the simple fact that there's many I want to say there are a few revenue streams for the fighter, and one of those revenue streams is basically tickets. How many tickets are sold for the fight, how many butts are put in seats. That is a revenue stream, and that revenue stream is being taken because of the simple fact that there may not be any more fights where you're just being able to spectate. I think those days may be past now. I don't want to say that, but it looks like those days may be past. And people of course are still talking about this vaccine, but that's another conversation altogether behind the sinisterness of it. But the real question is, are the fighters going to be able to be able to, I want to say, are the fighters going to accept it? That's the real question. Will the fighters accept not having a full arena? Will the fighters accept not having that form of revenue stream available to them anymore? That's the question that needs to be asked. And then on top of that, you have, as it stands right now, when it comes to the boxing and when it comes to the type of fights they're putting on right now, you just basically have fights that have prospects most of the time. You don't have the fights that are really having these marquee names. And Top Rank has been the lead, has been heading this charge. I mean, recently they did have a fight with Isaac Dogbo, but I mean, who besides the hardcore fans actually know who Isaac Dogbo is? You know what I mean? And so that's another thing about this whole situation. I think that, I mean, if they continue on this path, boxing in general, then I mean, the casual fans are going to go away a lot, because I'm sorry to say it, but I mean, the casual fan, what he wants is he wants to see a knockout. He wants to see an exciting fight, meaning he wants to see them really charge each other. And also he wants to see a marquee name, a good name, a name that is known throughout beyond boxing. You know what I mean? So I think at this point that fan is gone. It really seems like that fan is no longer available anymore because of the fights they're putting on right now. So with that being said, I want to say that there are some exciting fights coming. Now, I don't know how the fights are going to be set up. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be in an empty arena. I don't think they're going to risk actually, how should I put it, risk spreading the pandemic further and further by filling up an arena. But one of the fights that I want to really talk about, and they've done this before, but I think it's kind of risky. Maybe it'll be easier now that one brother has actually lost. Maybe it'll be, the psychological effect of it will not be as much as it was before. And the last time when they were in double heading a card. And yeah, I believe they got Jamal Charlo versus Serbian Devinchenko, and they got Jamel Charlo versus Jason Rosario for a unification belt. But what's crazy about the whole situation though? Honestly, now belts are kind of irrelevant now, because I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, you pretty much got a belt to give you leverage, right? That's what belts usually do, is to give you leverage. But I mean, I honestly don't see that leverage there if there ain't no fans. When you really think about it, this is kind of, I've been thinking about this, when you really think about it, if you're fighting in an empty stadium, right? Does A side, B side really matter at that point? Because part of A side, B side too is popularity. That's another thing. Who are people paying, or who are people coming to pay to come see? That's a part of A side, B side too. Who are the people coming to, which fighter is bringing out the most people? You know what I mean? So if you don't have no people being brought out, I mean, the only reason A side, B side would matter at that point is so the promoter can, and we know how the promoters are, But yeah, man, I mean,
I don't know how boxing's gonna really be now. I mean, because the whole thing is, this is the thing with boxing, especially professional prize fighters, right? The thing is that many factors go into the boxing, these fights. And one of the factors that go into these fights generating revenue is kind of like the press conferences, the pressers, and the things like that when the media is there, when the media can talk to these fighters. But that's cut out now, you know? And so when you really kind of think about it, that made the fight exciting. That built up the fight. It made anticipation of the fight when you saw things like that. But this is cut out because of the COVID. And so when you really think about it, it's like, okay, well, yeah, it's cool getting fights, but wouldn't it be better if you got fights and also you got the anticipation for those fights through pressures and through even the weigh-in, you know what I mean? But this now doesn't exist, you know? And the thing is, a lot of the boxing right now is just talk. You know, you have Terence Crawford saying he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. There's still time to pursue a Manny Pacquiao fight. You have just different people talking. You know what I mean? And going back on Twitter, back and forth on Twitter. You know how the Twitter beefs go, especially in boxing. But yeah, man, I just want to talk about that real quick. Because of the simple fact that, boxing has changed, and pretty much boxing has forever changed. You know what I mean? But anyhow, Fuller signing out. Leave your thoughts. Inshallah.
And then I wanted to add a couple of more things about boxing. Even the state of boxing is looking kind of, I guess, weird right now, because you have Mike Tyson and Roy Jones doing an exhibition 8-rounder. You have Oscar De La Hoya talking about, he'll fight Jermell Charlo and he'll get in there with Canelo. So it's like, I guess people are just bored, because they were so used to having press conferences, weigh-ins, and the like thereof all the time. But now it's not even there, But anyhow, man, these are just my thoughts about the current state of boxing. Fuller signing out. Enjoy.